show is not suitable for children, sensitive men, or insecure women. Can you trust somebody that doesn't take care of their kids?
I don't trust no man on earth that does not take care of their children.
What's the biggest red flag in a relationship?
Low effort and not being honest.
Most of the time, you would think that a bad financial mistake would be spending money on clothes or vacation or like spending money on women. My worst financial mistake was buying a home.
Like a king, give me my crown.
Game time. Game time. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we back.
What's the word?
What's the deal?
Live and direct. Happy to be here. How you feeling?
We back. How you feeling, man?
Amazing. If I was any better, I'd be you. You've been on the global world press tour, my boy.
Man, it's been, you know what, man?
Great job, though. Great.
I appreciate it, brother. This we did something yesterday. We was all supposed to be together, but you know, it didn't work out like that. But they sent their regards. The guys sent their regards, and they also gave us a gift to give to you too. So we'll mail it to you.
Yeah, shout out to them.
But you know what? I was just thinking, this has been, at least for me personally, my most enjoyable press run.
Okay, tell me why.
You know, man,
you toxic, yeah.
You know what,
a little bit toxic, but it's a great lesson to combat the chi. But go ahead.
It's really sad to say, but it's really true. Controversy does sell. And that Breakfast Club thing taught me so much. But man, was it beneficial on so many different levels. And then from there, we just did a variety of non-traditional. We did the Decisions podcast. We did Big Bank's show.
Shout out to Banks, shout out to Weezy, shout out to Man.
Did the Ray Daniels. We just talked about hip hop. We did a lot of non-traditional media outlets. And I had a lot of fun just talking. And I saw somebody in the comment of the Decisions post, and they're like, "Yo, this press conference was not it." And I mean, this press run was not it at all. I'm like, I kind of disagree. I think it was actually a great press run, in my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Why would they say it's not it if they're watching Mandy and Weezy show?
Exactly. It's like, yo, I finally, you know what's so crazy, bro? I finally figured social media out. I've been on social media for around almost a decade, as far as like really, really on it, like 9 years. Because even 2 years before we started On Your Leisure, I dedicated my life to social media.
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly will say it took me 9 years, but I understand social media now. I got it.
You understand it now? All right, tell us. Come on.
I can't tell you. I can tell you.
Okay.
I can't. I gotta write the book for that because it took me 9 years. It took me 9 years. I can't tell it all. But I will say this: you can just watch. It doesn't take that much deciphering to figure it out. If you've watched our last 2 weeks, and you'll understand why I say I understand it now.
Listen, well, we're all live, so I gotta ask, what is a social media tip they should infuse in their business going into Invest Fest and after, since you can't give away the major jam?
Don't be afraid to be polarizing. I think sometimes in life, we play the middle so much because we don't want to offend anybody. But I think I use sports as an analogy, right? The number one sports team in America, as far as money is concerned, is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
They make the most money. They're the most valuable franchise. America's team. That's what they call them, America's team.
Even though Pittsburgh was supposed to be the first America's team, they lost their rights. But the business 101 for you.
If you really think about it, the majority of America hates the Cowboys. The majority.
Yeah.
Like Philadelphia, New York, DC, those are just the rivals. But nobody really likes the Cowboys. Like, there's Cowboy fans all over America for sure. But if you took a poll, the majority of Americans would say that they dislike or hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The majority. Yep. and they're the most valuable franchise. That doesn't stop them from making money. That doesn't stop them from selling out. That doesn't stop them from selling merchandise. And they haven't even won in 25 years. They're not even winners.
Yep. Respectfully.
So
Jerry is in that family. So you can argue too. That's the ultimate goal. Winning on the field may not be the real thing, but for the franchise to win and to have your kids work with you, that's the real goal. So in that Super Bowl, he's won. But I agree. If you play in the middle and you're vanilla, the brand has no value.
100%. So what I'm saying is, you don't just go out making enemies for no reason, but don't be afraid to have opposition. Don't be afraid of that, because you kind of actually do need it if you want to propel to a different level. If you don't have an enemy, create one. Don't be afraid of opposition. And it's always the vocal minority. Comments don't mean anything. What I realized too is comments mean nothing. If you would look at our comment section from what happened, you would think that we was in a very bad space. If you look at the amount of tickets that are allotted for InvestFest, you would think that we was in a very good space as far as that's concerned. So
it's gonna be true.
It's interesting dynamic. It's an interesting dynamic. And I had to physically go through this to fully understand it. I didn't even understand this myself until I actually went through it. So I'm like, oh, that's why they doing this, and academics is doing this and all that, because that they don't matter. It's fake outrage. You can't be canceled. You can't be canceled.
And especially if it's not in your target market. Like, even for me personally, sometimes I like to hit that hornet's nest in my non-target market to make my target market stronger and love me more. Just got off the Stock Club call. Shout out to y'all, Red Panda gang, put a Red Panda in the chat. But if you're not my core audience and not in my cult circle, what's outside of this Red Panda ice wall really don't matter. You have to be and sometimes the hate from the outside can elicit love from your core even more. Like New York Knicks fans are a prime example. Brian went to Philly. I saw some Knicks fans mad at that. The Knicks army is getting stronger in terms of support for those who are core. Now it's us against the world, little guy versus big guy. You see the themes starting to play out. So yeah, knowing who your target market is and not being in the middle. Same like NVIDIA. You can take NVIDIA and Intel. They're a tale of two companies. Of course, Intel has had a run the last year and a half, 2 years. But if you look at NVIDIA, very non-traditional way that Jensen has run that company, and even how he's forward-facing versus the average person wouldn't know Intel CEO if they ran into him on the street. So
that's a fact.
Yep.
Troy just said Jerry Jones talks about it in Cowboys Netflix documentary. Sex, drugs, jail, suspensions, contract turmoils, as it keeps attention all year for a 17-week sport. But no, you know what? Without even dragging this out too long, I just realized that Instagram is not really a real place, and you can't be canceled. And if I always say, if I lost you, I never had you. So it's like the people that be the most vocal critics, you never had them anyway. 9 times out of 10. So you can't even worry about that, honestly. But as long as they're talking about you, look, InvestFest became the #1 trending topic on social media for 48 hours. You know how hard that is?
That's $11 to $12 million in paid media. And it may not even work then. That's tough, bro.
That's crazy. For a business event, let's put it in perspective.
Yeah.
This is a business event. Black people in the black person algorithm, a business event became the #1 trending topic for 48 hours. That's honestly impossible. And like you said, if we put money behind it, it would probably cost $10 million, $8 million to actually get it to trend at that highest level. So we didn't do that on purpose, but it happened. And I can honestly say it was actually beneficial.
Is it going to stay in Atlanta next year or no?
Time will tell. Time will tell.
It was right there at the rim audience. We are live. I have to ask.
We are live.
Okay.
All right, let's get the show started. We got Queen Afua coming on. I will say this though. Next Thursday, we got the Locks event. Shout out to the Locks. They're premiering their documentary at pre-Invest Fest. And then we're gonna have a conversation with the guys. So the tickets are $35, the price of a movie. You can go to investfest.com. It's a satellite event, so it's not part of an InvestFest ticket. Investfest.com. Go to the locks tab. Get your tickets to InvestFest. We are 1 week away officially.
Crazy.
Next Friday it starts. Thursday is registration. If you live in Atlanta or the greater Atlanta region, or you in town, please come early, 12 to 6 o'clock on Thursday, GWCC. You can register. So we want to make this as easy as possible. And then starting 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday is all day education, all day Friday, 9 o'clock in the morning. My dad's presentation is 10 o'clock in the morning. So try to make it to that if you can.
Yeah, make it.
Then the marketplace is open all day Friday. VIP night, black tie affair, Saturday, Sunday. Ian will be touching that stage after Serena Williams. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
Red Panda, let's go.
Goat to goat. Goat to goat moment. It was Magic Johnson and Ian last year. That was his dancing partner last year. This year, his dancing partner is that's actually you followed Tyler Perry. You followed Magic Johnson, and now you're following Serena Williams. So which one do you feel? I don't want to say pressure because it's
most
never
pressure.
There's never no pressure, but which one do you feel like has the biggest, like, okay, I gotta, you know, I got a hard act to follow. What's the one that you're saying is the hardest act to follow?
Every year, all of them are hard acts to follow. Like if you look at just Serena on a business level, unicorn goddess, like that's a tough act to follow. Like Magic, and I'm not gonna lie, all of them are pressure. Tyler Perry is who he is. Magic is who he is. Just in terms, even in charisma, but then he started doing my move and getting up and walking the stage, and I'm looking, I'm like, whew. And even that, like watching the showmanship, even Steve Harvey, like the year with Tyler went on, his performance and conversation, the reaction was incredible. So I'm watching. That's why I love to just sit and watch that. All of them are pressure, but also too, the other part, like because I'm like done with the presentation now, like the gratitude of like, damn, I'm lucky to be able to do this and to have manifested this. So that's when a part of like preparation kicks in. But all of them are pressure. I'm not gonna lie to you. But stay tuned for a great show on Sunday.
Now I'm telling you, shout out to Fatima. We was in Africa. We was out in Rwanda. We was in Rwanda on the east side of Africa, 16-hour flight, and we was talking to her name is Fatima, who actually came to InvestFest last year. Mind you, she doesn't watch. She follows Earn Your Leisures Instagram. She don't watch Market Monday. She doesn't watch Blackout, so she doesn't know the characters. Like she doesn't know. So she didn't know who you were. So, but we in Rwanda having dinner, and we talking about InvestFest, and she was like, "Who was the guy that made everybody stand up, and they stood up for 45 minutes straight, and he was talking about investing, and he was breaking down the stock market, da 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 da." She was like, I'm like, "Oh, Ian?" She's like, yeah, Ian. I say that to say, man, you left a lasting impression.
Thank you.
Look how many people spoke. At least 100 people have spoken throughout the weekend. Just last year alone, at least 100 people speak. And you at the top of her mind, it was somebody that she did not even know.
Preparation, yo. It's the same in hooping. Like the thing, and I've been going through this journey. All the people that we love, whether it's Jay, Nas, Big, Kobe, like the dogs who get on any stage in life, Jensen, Steve Jobs, incredible preparation. Like even for me, AB, I have an updated title for you tomorrow. Like I was going through all the notes today. Man, I got 2,600 pages of notes to give away 45 gems. It's prep.
How do you? So you putting 26 pages down to 45?
2,600 pages down to 45.
Put it in Anthropic and just say cut it down for me.
Yeah, rank them by virality, you know, and then some of it is feel, but also to prep. Like if you go back for my hoop fans, before Jordan went on that sweep, it was the Bird and Magic era. Some of you may be too young to remember. because Magic is looked at it in a certain way. But when he lost to Bird, that was a lot of, he's a choke artist. When you get your moment to shine, you never know who's watching. You never want to lose in the finals. You never want to be a bust in life and on stage. That's why I take it so serious. Like even in prep, I was like, yo, I need the final days to be able to practice. So even the stuff Godfrey said, work on it every day. Been doing it ever since. So my big lesson for you tonight is if you want to take, because even for me, like when Jay told that story of DMX going on stage and had him cry, Magic had people praying.
Facts.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna follow this. Okay. But preparation. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching.
That's a fact. Well,
yeah. Cool. And the overflow room for the record. Shout to UTA. The overflow. I can't wait.
Just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear. There was overflow. So when people were like, yo, I didn't even learn nothing. Clearly you didn't hear me in Magic. For the non-note takers, I gave you, and I got new prompts for you this year too. But how can you not have learned something? If you paid for $300 for a ticket, man, the price of admission, if you see me alone, is worth it. I promise you. See you Sunday at 5 p.m.
That's a fact. Let's get it.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into this, man. Can we show the clip from Decisions? Oh, we have an episode coming out tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Dope episode. We're talking about life insurance, financial planning. Make sure you check that out.
That one's gonna be good. And listen, I gotta ask you before to lead in, is 401k one of the worst vehicles?
Controversial statement.
That's a controversial statement, but even in that, as a financial creator, that's a great hook if you back it up with data, and there's a lot of data to prove that.
Well, how do you feel about that statement?
I'm so deep in preparation for InvestFest. I have no thoughts. Tune in tomorrow.
Tune in tomorrow.
I'm over controversy for the month of July. Now, end of August, I'm gonna get back to it.
Back to it. Okay. Let's oh man, let's show the clip of decisions, please, Troy.
Time, generally speaking, if you dating somebody, a woman is going to be a financial liability on the bad side to a man. Most of the time, generally speaking, if you're married to somebody, a man is going to be a financial liability to a woman.
Okay. In what general instances do we see it happen?
Because, okay, the marriage, right? Most of the time, if there's some financial breakdown that happens, it's usually the man that's doing dumb shit. Like, I need to borrow this. I got an idea. Or they co-sign for this for me. Or that I was a financial advisor. That's usually what, in cases when there's bad financial fuck-ups that happen in a marriage. 9 times out of 10, it's the guy that's initiating it, bringing the woman down.
Is it because men are making the bulk of the money in the books you were financing? So they're managing it more?
A lot of times, especially in our community, unfortunately, the woman is the breadwinner.
Hello.
Or the woman is more financially responsible than the man.
Right.
So even if the man makes more money, he doesn't even, he's not financially responsible.
Yeah.
So he goes to the person that's financially responsible.
It's a fact.
To finance things, to borrow money from, to rob Peter to pay Paul. That happens all the time. The reason why I said in relationships, because 9 times out of 10, the man is trying to still impress the woman. So now he drains himself, because that could happen in a relationship. Well, I'm just saying, because it's the catalyst of what's causing the financial issue. You could borrow money and do all that from a girlfriend also. That does happen as well. But a lot of times when you courting somebody, a man will put himself in financial hardship, debt, all types of fucked up situations to try to play a facade, to try to float things that he know he cannot afford. He'll fuck up his own bank account for the pursuit of the woman that he wants.
I ain't gonna lie, you cook with that, Joe. Shout to Weezy, shout to Mandy, decisions. Whew.
Thank you. Man, and when I'm glad you sent that. Thank you, because when they put their clip, shout out to them, but their clip was edited, so it wasn't the full conversation. So that gave full context of what I was actually trying to say, is that I guess I said it. Pretty straightforward. How do you feel about it?
I agree 1,000%. I think even a lot of, and I was talking to the stock club about this, like a lot of the gambling that we see even in the stock market, leverage ETFs, 0-day options, they're not taking that money and rolling it over into a long-term investment. They're going to go to Turks with somebody they met off Instagram. I agree 1,000%. A lot of men who complain about the gold digger situation, you're leading with money anyway. So you're creating a situation, making these promises. I'll do this for you. I'll get you whatever you want. Like I'm seeing this in real time. And then you hit a hardship and she leave. And it's like, well, if that's what you promised, you can't keep that shit up. What you expect, my boy. And fellas, if you got to do all that, she really don't want you. That's an expensive proposition to be doing that with a bunch of people, knowing you don't have it for 9 minutes of action. Y'all ain't putting up no numbers on the board. Y'all buying $7,000 Chanel to fuck for 14 minutes. That's retarded to me. But you got your think pieces on Twitter. I see you. Save it.
What she say? You can't say you love me. You ain't getting me no Chanel.
Yes, you can.
You ain't getting me Chanel.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And a lot of times it's like being a kid. Like they'll see if they can get it off you just as a game. Don't go for it. Don't go for it.
But I will say this though, that's the thing that not a lot of people have really communicated, at least I've seen on social media, is the fact that a lot of people in relationships, and I'll say marriage, a lot of men financially drain women. A lot of times they'll take a loan, a woman will take a loan from her 401k
for sure
to finance a man's business idea. They'll take equity out of the house to pay for the man because he got laid off. I've seen this happen before. Borrow money from the wife, never pay it back. The man got bad credit. The woman has to co-sign the car. He ends up not paying and fucks her credit up as well. Taking money from their 401k, from her 401k, because he doesn't have a 401k. Liquidating retirement accounts, liquidating savings accounts. That's not talked about enough. That's a real thing.
And that's why I keep saying the women need the prenup probably more than the men in our community. Like I've known a few women that have gone through the ringer, like you said, they pay the bills, the business to grow, the woman's doing the majority of the work, the divorce time, and now because the income disparity is so wide, now you're looking to have a windfall of money from that situation. You have to be mindful. You have to be mindful.
You got to be mindful. Use your intelligence at all times. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't support your husband for sure. Your boyfriend, hey, that gets tricky.
Mistake. I'm gonna say that once you get into the 5 figures of investing on either whether you woman or man in a relationship that's not marriage is a mistake.
And even in supporting your husband, I think you should use
limits,
intelligence. Because for every Chris Simon, if you know Chris Simon, shout out to him. He tells his story, so it's not he tells his story. His wife took a loan from her 401k to finance his dream of business, and now they're like millionaires. For every one Chris Simon, there's 100.
It's 100 finessers. The other finesse 2 times.
Chris Lolo, the Chris Lolo. Like there's 100 Chris Lolos for every one Chris Simon. Babe, give me a tax return. I'm gonna flip it and the flipping tax return.
And they flipped it to another baddie. That's the crazy part. Okay.
Yo, these dudes be fucking up packages. If they don't have a proven track record,
don't do it.
I look, man, I know it's sensitive because it's like if you married to a person and they come to you and they say, look, how do you tell them no? How do you tell
if you're married? That's cool. It's happened in a lot of in basic relationships that y'all know not going nowhere.
But even if you married, that's still, I don't think just because you married somebody has the right to financially fleece you.
Oh, I agree 1,000%.
But how do you tell your spouse no?
No. No's a full sentence. I don't know. Like maybe there's a better. Ish told me this yesterday. He like, you're not the best at like the political disposition. I'm not. No's a full sentence. I'm sorry.
What do you want for dinner?
If you have no track record of doing it, or you have it, and also too, I was having this conversation earlier about like, how do you get your kids to listen and what lessons are you teaching Xander, right? And I said, it's not what I'm teaching him, it's the actions that he sees me do. A lot of times when men be like, they don't believe in a vision, it's not that, they just see you be lazy and a fuck up in every other part of your life, and you can't turn it on in business when everything else is going awry. If you're not getting up and getting to it every day, I can't give you 40,000 or 30,000 to flip into an option because you said you did the research, but you really just looked and clawed. No, I need to see the habit throughout.
And I feel the same way as far as I need to see it. All right, look, show me a business plan, show me a proven track record. No, like
start small.
Yeah, no, sorry. I love you. I appreciate everything that you've done for this family. Greatly appreciate it.
Not at this time. It's probably a better approach for those of you who need a softer approach. Not at this time.
I'm not cashing out my 401k.
No,
for you
under
to
no
start
circumstances.
Amazon dropship company.
Sorry. Nope.
Sorry.
Respectfully.
Of course, respect.
Especially now, I own 80% of it. No, I'm cool.
How you feel about my theory on this? Because I know you said something before about your son Xander. He flies first class, right? So here's what I
tried the Comfort Plus. I hated it. Sorry.
He's still young though. He's still young. But here's here's what because I have a son too. So I don't know. It might be different if I have a daughter. My son, he's been flying his whole life. So he flew everything. But he was introduced to first class. I introduced my son to first class at a young age. Like we went to Egypt, like the real first class, like the lay flat bed first class. Like he knows what a lay flat bed is. He's been in lay flat beds before. He's 15 right now. So we went to Morocco, and I booked his flight from Morocco, and I said, I'm gonna put him in coach. But there's a reason why I did this.
Yeah, it's a coming of age story. Yep.
And from now on, he's gonna fly coach. Because I wanted to introduce him to something so he can have the exposure to know what it is. But now you're a young man on the verge of being a man. I'm not supporting a man on some unnecessary luxury. But you know what it is. So now if you ever want to get back to that,
earn it or work your way. Yep.
Yeah. You got to earn that. Because I can't see myself paying for an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old man to fly first class that hasn't done anything just because he's my son. But I want you to know what it feels like to fly first class. And I also want you to know what it feels like to fly 37B. If you get back to first class, that's your decision. You know what I'm saying?
Anything can be earned. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
I love it. And as long as you explain to him why. I did this with Xander last week or 2 weeks ago. Missed game, won a shot. Possession before that, turnover. All summer he was looking for, I'm going to train with Tim Martin. Shot Tim Martin. When's Tim coming? You were gunning. There's no training. I told you, if you play how you're supposed to play, I'll book Tim to come train you. But you're 11. You don't need Wemby's trainer. Pass the ball. So because you wanted to be a star and you got on a fast break and took a 3-on-1 shot and it cost your team the game, now this thing costs you in life because there's a tale of two stories. Either you follow a blueprint all the way through and get the life that you want, or you have to live a regular life. There's no in between. These are the conversations that, like, for those you ask about parenting, for those kids that have well-to-do parents, you have to be even harder because in their mind, they're thinking, he's the backup plan anyway. So you have to expose them to, no, you don't get, and my dad used to do it with me. And I'm like, damn, why are you so hard? He like, I never want you to look at me as an option to be able to depend on as a man. Go get it yourself. Figure out a plan. Show me how you can do this on your own. And then gave you drive. So I think absolutely you should. You should give your kids luxuries. But the other part is you can give your kid too many luxuries. Yeah. And now the state has to punish him because you wouldn't.
Right.
Yep.
And that's one. But to his credit, shout out to him. He never complained. He never complained about flying coach or anything like that. Like, you know, at all. Like he had no complaints about it at all. So I don't know.
Which is great. That's another way to earn is be appreciative.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, actually. Now that I'm really thinking about it, because I don't want them to get comfortable.
Ain't no, if you young and you ain't nothing wrong, bro.
No, there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to get comfortable either.
You take them to the trenches, yo. But you have to. It's a tale of two lives, and it's not.
If I had a daughter, if you have a daughter, is it different for your daughter?
I don't know. I don't have a daughter, but probably would be. I ain't gonna lie. I'd probably be a little softy. What? I would probably fly United if I had a daughter. No. So, but you gotta put your kids in situations to not give them everything and make them earn things. And I think that's the biggest challenge in generational wealth. By the third generation, it's usually ruined.
That's a fact.
Because of the bad habits of the second.
And they get lazy. They
get too comfortable. Yep. Speaking of generational wealth, do you think we should have more multi-generational families staying in one home opposed to everybody leaving the house at 18, 19, 20?
From a financial standpoint, it's helpful and it's beneficial for sure. Yes. To answer your question, yes. It's obviously it's just like, when you have multiple incomes, that makes the cost of living cheaper. Yeah. But that's one part. But then you also have people that help, right? Like you cook. Who's going to cook the meal? Who's going to cut the grass? Yeah. Who's going to fix it? Who's going to do this? So when you have the more people in a house, you create not only more of a bigger family type of community feel, you lower the financial responsibilities and burdens, but you also have more shared responsibilities, which is beneficial as well. So I know a lot of cultures do that for sure. And that's something that, is normalized in a lot of cultures. Now,
with the cost of living though.
Now we got that out the way.
Yeah, we got that out the way. Cost of living is high in New York. You need 201,000 to live in Texas. Okay, I hear all that. Now the other part, the cultural
part is that. Oh, let's just be honest. Let's have an honest conversation before we bring our guest on. Mm-hmm. It can be awkward. You living with your mom and your grandma and your uncle and your aunt, and you 28 years old, and you want to move and groove. It's awkward. It's awkward.
It's tough.
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
Just being honest. So even if you got a family, even if you 40 and you got a family, there's nothing like having a certain level of privacy. Mm-hmm. And a certain level of, I don't have to worry about anything because nobody's here. At least for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to have to walk on eggshells because I'm making too much noise, or I can't come in too late because I'm gonna wake somebody up, or it's like
rules are needed though. I don't think you can have generational wealth without having hard rules though. I agree with you 1,000%, but what they're going to inflate us out of being able to live here comfortably. Like at some point, if I'm 21 and I'm just graduating and I want to buy a house, it's damn near impossible to do so in any major city.
That's true.
It's tough.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. All right. Okay. Before we bring our guests, I forgot to mention too, Invest Fest. We have parties. So if you want to go to any after parties, that's on the website as well. You can go to investfest.com for Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is a small, intimate gathering mansion party. Saturday is just a regular traditional party. So you go to investfest.com, Afterlife tab, After Dark. Afterlife? Is it? No, Afterlife sounds crazy.
Afterlife sounds crazy.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
After party. I'm gonna just say after party. Afterlife. Words have power. That's too close to life after death. Ooh, nope.
Afterlife sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, happy birthday to my brother Queen Flip. Happy birthday, my guy.
Happy birthday to Queen Flip, and happy birthday to my mom. Today's her birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to your mom.
Okay, let's bring our guest up, please. How you doing? Queen Afua, how are you?
How are you?
I am so happy to be with you. I'm Joe. Can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear. We're bringing your son up too, right? Same
Yes.
time. Yeah. Can you, Troy, Supernova? How you doing, brother? You're muted.
Peace, brothers.
How you doing?
All is well. Good to see y'all.
Likewise.
Good to see you too.
Queen, you know, I actually have, I think I'm hearing an echo. I think that might Supernova. Can you just mute? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Oh, did you mute?
Not yet.
Or Troy, can you mute him? Okay. I'm just gonna mute you while we talk, and then when you talk, you could unmute yourself. I actually have that that poster of is that Nina Simone? Is that or Billie Holiday? That's Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday. You have the same one?
I have the extended version.
This is a part of the extended version. You have the same one.
Okay, yeah, I got the same one.
We have things in common.
There you have.
Yeah. We love our people, the artists.
First and foremost, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So, you know, you're somebody that has been a fixture in our community for a very long period of time. If somebody does not know you, I guess the best way to describe, would you say a healer?
Yes, that would be the best way to describe me, as a healer. A holistic healer.
A holistic
healer.
A holistic healer.
Advocate of wellness. Mother of sacred women, the guide. Advocate of womb wellness. Yes, those are different ways.
So I want to talk. I know you have your son here, Supernova. We're gonna get to him in a little bit as well. But you wrote a book together, and it's about healing specifically for Black men.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to. My first question is: at what point does being strong become unhealthy?
When you are pretending that you're not sick, when you keep a camouflage, like all is good, I'm fine, I have no problems, but you have problems. And how I see it, all of a sudden, you say, wait a minute, what happened to him? He had a heart attack. He had a stroke, but he was just at his job. He was just functioning. He's taking his family. He had a sudden heart attack and died. So that's the strong one. So externally, I have it all together. I'm handling my life. I'm handling my business, but the body internally is dying. So that's not the strong man. Strong is to speak up, to get help. That's a strong Black man.
Nova, you want to add anything to that?
Peace, beloved. Yes. Well, just what Queen said is right and exact. The strength comes from the resilience to continue, right? And so one of the things that we have brothers do in reading the book and joining our rites of passage is what we call a tactical pause, right? And to make an assessment of yourself, of your emotional state, your mental state, your physical state. And once you can humble yourself to make that assessment of yourself, you know what I'm saying, then you have exactly what you need to know how to continue forward, right? And so the strength a lot of times is external because men are taught to only show up strong, but not necessarily to show up with self-care for himself. So he moves careless in the world, right? And then what happens is people, you know, encourage men to always show in that, and that's only one aspect of our nature and of ourselves. Men are multifaceted, you know, but in society, we only taught to be the strong one, the provider, the strong one. And outside of that, maybe we can be other aspects of ourselves. So it comes to answer like, do our women and do our family members really know who we are? Because we have so much more to offer. And so men become scared to really show other aspects for fear of not being accepted, right? And so he locks into the strong attribute of himself until he breaks down. And then when he breaks down, he looks around and everybody's looking, well, why you broke down? You're supposed to be strong, right? And so he doesn't really have anybody to call on. So the tools in Man Heal Thyself is to give brothers the tools so he can pick himself up and energize himself and assess the strength. and use the strength in creative ways in other areas of his life, so it's not bottlenecked and so stifled, so he can implode. That makes sense. Yeah.
I want to add to that. Men are told to man up. You have a problem, man. You better man up. You have responsibilities. You have to keep it together. So he's not even trained or received to actually speak out that he has a problem. He has an illness. He has a concern. What about the men who have erectile dysfunction? That's a whole category right there. And the impact of that on him, and why he has to go high. I could say some more stuff on that. I'll leave that alone for a minute.
Yeah, well, when you say erectile dysfunction, do you think that? Explain that.
Oh my gosh. I went to a 50th birthday party. Three brothers were 50. And I went with my spiritual daughter, Rachel, and my daughter, Sharice. And I saw 40 men standing with their suits and ties at the party together. And I saw 50 women, fabulous, and they were standing and ain't nobody dancing. All one was dancing was me and one other person. I said, wait a minute. I said, maybe if I dance, they'll start moving. You know what it is? I went to their home in my psyche because I know what it is because I have my clients. He's already showing signs that he's having erectile dysfunction. When it's time for him to be intimate with his mate, he realizes that he cannot be intimate. And as a result, he ends up, this is what happens as marriages are together for a while. He goes into his separate room. All of a sudden now, as they get older, he has his room and she has her room. And they don't sleep together anymore because that's an embarrassment. It's a shame put on it. And it's a shame that he doesn't know how to heal himself because there's a way out of this. Well, that's why the book Men Heal Thyself is critical because he can actually rejuvenate his prostate and rejuvenate his emotions and his heart and all that, as the women is doing the same thing. Women are changing, they're cleansing, they're healing, but our men are not. So there's this hostility in the household as a result of it because he doesn't want to be too close because that means he cannot perform. So that's my take on it.
Because they getting them honey packs. You know honey. No, honey
at the gas station.
Honey packs.
They get honey packs.
They get the honey packs, but they don't necessarily heal the issue. So, a lot of times when we talk about the erectile dysfunction, there's many factors that add to that state. But the mental state, where's the man feeling emotionally? Where's he feeling? Because a lot of times if he's stressed financially, if he's stressed socially, if he's cut off, from how to express himself, sexuality is mind-body, right? So your mind has to be in tune with your body. And a lot of times, even if the mind wants to engage, the body may be so in a state of distress, right? So in the book, we talk about how men can practice wellness protocols to de-stress himself. We have a chapter that talks about the spiritual baths, and Queen can go more into that, where brothers can, you go home in your tub, run a big bath of water, get 4 to 6 pounds of Epsom salt, and just soak for 20 minutes. Put your good tones on, get your mood and your mind and body in one, right? That calms the nervous system down. That calms the physical body down. So that's one aspect, right? So after that, he gave himself self-care. So now when he wants to engage post that with his woman, he's in a more relaxed state. His mind is ready. His body is relaxed, right? Also, processed white sugar cuts off the oxygen flow to the brain. So that's stressing too. So brothers have to really watch the excess sugars and the salts and the alcohol, because that also stops the flow, right? So when we talk about the body and flow, the blood flow, you mentioned honey pack, brother. And initially that just gives the body a charge with the flow, right? But you want to have constant flow. So eating fresh greens, the chlorophyll foods. I have a supplement called Super Mega Greens that is a concentrated blend of greens, chlorophyll greens, that helps to restore that flow, right? To the prostate, to the brain, into the nervous system. So when the body's in a state of relaxation and flow, then he's not in a state of erectile dysfunction like that Queen was talking about. But this is what we go into these protocols over the weeks as the brothers read the text or go to the training. They get the herbal remedies, they get like the maca, they get the ashwagandha, and they get the technique Ali, you know, in addition to a regimen, a physical regimen, an emotional regimen, and a holistic regimen to get him in a state of flow, right? Because when he's in a state of flow, his mind body, that connection is in alignment, and he can perform and show up better.
Really quick, going back to the vulnerability point for the men who want to not have so much emotional baggage, if they've been in their protector and provider mode, how do they then get the family to reshift how they're seen, so they're not just solely protector and provider, that they're able to express more to their family and friends?
Quinn, you want to open that, and I'll come after you?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, you have to trust yourself enough to be honest, because it's not honest if you're suppressing how you're really feeling. And if you suppress how you really feel, it's going to come out in other ways, because it's going to be expressed. If you don't express yourself and speak it out, you might end up screaming it out. You might end up being violent. You might end up harming yourself and numbing yourself out because you're hurting so much you don't feel like you can communicate. So then oftentimes the women are open and ready to shift, to change, because they want to save their men's lives. Really? And I've seen women panic when they are depending on each other to bring economics into the family. And if he's starting to break down and showing up in different ways that he cannot communicate because he is ashamed, or he feels he's supposed to man up, the relationship starts to break down too. And the love starts to go out the window. What brought them together initially, it starts to go out the window. And then the children it trickles down to the whole family. The family becomes toxic. The family becomes fearful. And then the children are learning how to be suppressed. They're getting their lessons right in the house. They're learning how to keep things quiet while everybody's hurting. They end up having a double life themselves because they don't come and tell their parents, because the parents are not communicating. So it helps if the man will begin to speak up, even if he was not doing it in the beginning, to talk. And what will happen is the feminine principle in the relationship, she'll begin to say, you know, also what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. Because more than likely, if he's having a prostate issue or high blood pressure or diabetes, she's having a fibroid tumor. She's having heavy bleeding and clotting. She might be about on the pipeline to a hysterectomy. So they're both going through some stuff. So we're going to have these silent killers and don't communicate. I say communicate, not now, but right now. We're in a state of emergency, our families. 80% of Black homes are run by women, the mothers. That is a state of emergency. What happens when the mother is raising the sons alone? What happens to the men? What happens to our young men if they don't have those examples? What happens to our daughter when she's looking for a mate and she doesn't have that example to her father? So we really have to come together as a family and begin to cultivate support in our wellness and start making some changes. And you can start small and just keep building, but start to share tonight, tomorrow, 24 hours. Say, listen, this is what I'm feeling. Can we just sit down? Can we talk? And then just lay on the table what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and you know what's going to come out of it. I didn't know you felt like that. Really? Communication is golden.
When you say communicate what you're feeling, are you saying what you're feeling emotionally or what you're feeling physically?
You can break it down however you need to break it down. You can say, okay, we're going to start on what do I feel mentally? Charlamagne the God, he's been doing those mental empowerment teachings once a year.
Yeah.
But why is he having them, and why it's so well populated? Because we are depressed, we are stressed, and we're anxious. So you could just start with, what am I thinking? What am I feeling mentally? Am I depressed? Am I getting forgetful because I'm overwhelmed? And explain your case. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is why I'm short patient. This is why I snap at you. I don't really want to do it, but this is what I'm mentally going through. Or emotionally. You know, I've been feeling this way in my heart. I don't feel like I can make adjustment in this world now. I think technology, if you don't have technology, you don't have a life.
Yeah.
So what is it that he needs to learn now? What are some things that she needs to learn and get caught up with? People are just shocked that I'm on social media. Like, they said, Queen, are you supposed to actually? We're not all doing that in my group. So you have to be prepared to do some learning and teaching and working together. And then what happens by him sharing, she's going to probably start crying because it's the first time he's even talking like this. And then she's going to start to share herself too. And that could possibly keep a relationship together. Because if you keep closing down, that's called a divorce. Now you can divorce mentally and emotionally and be in the same house. Make the difference made. Have a good night. See you in the morning. That's the death of a relationship, which is the death of the being, male or female, which is both.
Well, Nova, let me get your perspective on that from a man, because I feel like a lot of men struggle to communicate, like especially about health or their emotional feelings or mentally. So how does a man put his guard down and be vulnerable enough to communicate to his partner or to somebody what he's actually going through?
Great question, beloved. So the whole point of man healing thyself is for the man to identify the wound so he can heal, right? And a lot of us men have been carrying these wounds, brothers, since we were 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then we become men, and we have never really addressed some of the dysfunction and wounds and trauma that we've experienced. Because like I said, the roles that we grow into from boys to men locks us into just the provision and provider role. Powerful roles. But we, like I said, men have so much more to offer, but we just get funneled in these roles until we just implode and explode. So I like to go back in the process. In the first chapter of the book, we talk about there's a meditation that we take brothers through. For him, we call it taking the effort to write a forgiveness letter to yourself when you was not as strong as you needed to be for yourself, right? So just the process of man journaling. It could have been, hey man, when I was 12, man, my pop stood me up, pills would pick me up, he didn't pick me up. That abandonment grew into other things, right? But it could be a core memory that still sits with you, So that's just one example, brother. But you go into your core memories and start, making notes of some of the things that triggered you that may have been unresolved or traumatic and still showing up. When you talk to a lot of brothers and just build with them and unpack with them, that's what a lot of men are holding. You're holding, a long journey of just unprocessed emotions and to be able to speak up and be courageous enough to share. So like by the time you get to your committed relationship, you have mastered the art of not sharing. You know what I'm saying? But all of that not sharing is eating you inside, right? And then now you're attracted to substances and foods that help to rock you to sleep with it, but it doesn't necessarily kill you. Like I said about the honey pack, that's like an immediate thing to get you going. But we want brothers just to be in a life flow, not just in a momentarily, right? And so that's one of the rituals I would just share with the brothers. Write a forgiveness letter to yourself. And you can end it by saying that you recognize, that you've always needed you to be in this strength place, and you have the ability to show up for yourself. And just that ritual of taking yourself from that memory place and giving you that encouragement, it unlocks and unblocks you. Also, we want our brothers to become courageous, what we call wellness warriors. A wellness warrior is a man that daily stands up for the health and quality of his body, mind, and spirit through his daily activities and rituals. Like I mentioned earlier about a brother taking a bath before his intercourse, right? Calming his nervous system, calming his body and his mind, so he's in a relaxed state to receive, okay? And so you want to create daily rituals around your life so you can show up better for yourself. Because if you can show up better for yourself, the quality of your family increase and the quality of how you show up increases. Now, just because you are sharing with your partner or your loved ones, that does not mean that you're not fortifying your boundaries, because men are very, we're very cautious of people taking our words and twisting it and not meaning it. So you have to figure out a way, how can you establish your boundary and just get it off your chest, right?
In your personal opinion, for both of you, what are like 5 daily rituals everyone should have in our community to live a happier and healthier life?
I would like to put the strong. Wellness is strong.
Yeah.
It don't get no better than that. When you feel well, you're vibrant. You can think out of the box. You can shift on a dime. When something happens, you don't get bent out of shape. You become proactive. When you're well, when you can channel your new life at any moment of transformation. When you're well, you can attract more prosperity to yourself. When you're well, you can actually live your life purpose. So wellness is powerful. Wellness is strong. Wellness is beautiful. Wellness is attractive. Wellness is fine. That's wellness will give you all of that. So that's a strong man when he's well. Just like a strong woman, when she's well, she's her best. Now,
I'll add, Queen, the five things that he mentioned. I would say body, mind, spirit. For the body, do some type of movement daily. What I call movement meditation, whether it be 30 minutes to an hour exercise, martial arts, dance, move the body needs to be engaged. So movement, acts of service, helping others around you, it helps to strengthen you socially and allows that confidence to grow. Do something creative. Right. So even if you're like caught up in like a corporate job or you're not necessarily in the creative space, exercising that creative part of you. You may have been a writer, you may have been an art person. You may have been someone that helps to, do music or poetry, do something creative. Learning the mind. Open yourself up to learn, like read the book, Man, Heal Thyself, tap into Earn Your Leisure and get that mental food for the fortification. And then 5 would be do some type of spiritual, whether you have a spiritual religious practice, make sure you take that time for that meditation, that spiritual religious practice on the beginning and the closing of your day. Those are my 5 principles for living the best holistic life.
And can I now jump in?
Yes, you can.
Of course, Queen.
Okay, plant-based. Try to get into a plant-based lifestyle. The biggest animals, the strongest animals, they live on plants. Nobody talks about that. And the plant-based lifestyle will actually give you a healthier heart, so you can prevent heart attacks and strokes and aneurysm. A plant-based lifestyle increases circulation throughout your whole system, so your whole system is alive. Keep your colon clean. If your colon becomes impacted, men get like 45 or 50 years old, you start to get a distended abdomen. And that's maybe because they're carrying 10 or 15 pounds of waste in their colons from eating late at night, eating a lot of dairy or flesh and white flour products. So they literally are carrying the waste from maybe months and years back, and their stomach's getting extended. So keep your colon clean. Eat your okra, have more greens, get a colonic, take a herbal laxative once a week to flush out that pounds of waste. They said cancer of the colon is the second highest form of cancer in the United States.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Junk food, fast food, it's not real food. I call it food substance. We're addicted to things that are not real food, because real food nourishes you, repairs, and heals. Inversion therapy is an African pose for bringing the soul to life, but also brings the whole body to life, which means something so simple every night. If you want to have mental wellness, a strong, healthy heart, a healthy prostate, for women, a healthy uterus, prevention of varicose veins and swollen ankles and inflammation, just invert. 3 pillows, pillow 1, top of 2, 3 pillows, lift, lay down, it's time for rest. Put your legs over those pillows, the blood, everything comes right back to you. Healthy legs, healthy prostate, healthy uterus, healthy heart, healthy communication, healthy mind. And do that 10 minutes every night and 10 minutes in the morning before you get down to bed. And then have a green juice a day. So we know became the concept chlorophyllion, and he came up with that when he was about 16 years old. And I became a chlorophyllion as a result that I was so inspired. But to have a green juice a day gives you that extra ASAR, powerful, high-level energy. And just the greens is sun food. So the more sun food, we're sun people. So the more sun food that we take in, the more radiant, we're gonna be just like the sun. There was a prayer from our ancestors gave to us that's in the Purge in the first written text of spirituality. It says golden our limbs, which means the sunlight. That's who we are. Blue, our crown, which means a high, clear, strong mind. And emerald, our body, which is the green. So when you have the green saturated all your tissues and cells, you can prevent the high blood pressure, the diabetes, the stress levels, the trauma. So have a green juice a day. That's what I believe. And we have our formulas. Green Life Nutritional Formula. Order that for those who want to get into it right now. Then the final thing is to read. Use your mind, read, study, find something new that can excite you, that can stimulate your creativity, and begin to live that out. You know, study, live, and live it out. Be yourself.
No, that was excellent. Let me ask you this, because I'm moving into a house and I have a few things. So
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. A sauna. So I've been hearing a lot about saunas, especially red light sauna.
Infrared sauna.
Infrared sauna. You just mentioned the tub as far as the Epsom salt, and then the steamer as well. So those, can you give me the knowledge on how to properly go about that? Should that be part of my daily routine?
Absolutely. Yeah, with the infrared.
Yeah, well, the sauna, the steam, and the tub,
and the salt,
heat therapy. Yeah,
the heat therapy.
In your house?
Yes.
Yeah, that he has a wellness house. yeah. So I would say you save the bath for the last effort. You know, take I would say, you know, you do the steam and do the sauna, 20 to 30 minutes. Well, not maybe, you know, you be taking some breaks in between, but you know, just allow your body, you know, the skin is the largest organ on the body. So when we're detoxing from our skin, you know, our liver and our kidneys are feeling rejuvenated. The whole body is rejuvenated. So that's why you would want to do that daily. If you can make some time to do that daily, brother, at least 3 times a week. That now you're creating a wellness ritual for yourself, you know, and look, and you're very busy. So you have a lot of things happening, but you just show that you want to make self-care part of your priority. And
so
I think that's
like 15 minutes of each.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
15 minutes of each.
And maybe with the bathtub, maybe a little longer, just if you just really want to, you know, keep decompress from what you did before and just be in that moment for yourself. It's the gift that keeps giving.
But the
absolutely. Epsom salt helps to draw out any aches in the body. Sometimes we be moving and grooving. We don't even know we got aches in certain joints until we have to maybe hit a pose or, you know, play some basketball or do some type of sports or movement that we go, oh my gosh, I'm feeling it there. So the Epsom salt helps to pull out any blockages in the body and tissues, and the tissue damage helps to restore that.
What about grounding?
Outside, taking your feet and putting in the earth. Absolutely. You know, I would say
does that really work?
So this is what you do. Like you sitting up, you either if sitting on the ground straight like an antenna, so your body's kind of erect to the sky, and you just imagine yourself just drawing in the atmosphere and moving from your crown to your feet, right? And you just focus on your breath. That's it. And each time you inhale, you feel yourself extending into the sky. You exhale, you feel yourself melting into the earth. That ritual, that correspondence, that's so above below, that allows you to really be aware of your environment and aware of yourself, and allows you to just reroute, especially if, you know, people and noise and internet, you know, giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes a day just to ground. Some people go on the beach to ground, you know, they don't necessarily go into the ocean. They just kind of sit in front of the ocean and put your feet there and breathe. So, I mean, just by both of y'all showing, like you said, that's your move, and you saying that you want to set up a wellness protocol. These are the type of energetics that we want to encourage men to do in their lives, you know, in their consistency of figuring out what is your daily ritual, what is your daily wellness protocol, that no matter how busy you get, whatever your responsibilities, you will make 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and you'll see your life transform. 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, you'll see the quality of your life, brothers, accelerate.
Really quick as a follow-up, what are some wellness practices our ancestors used to do that we don't do now in modern society that we should implement into our lives as a culture?
Quinn, you got it? Or you want me to?
Well, I will jump in on this.
Yeah, go get. You got it.
Okay, it's important. This is so important because what we're talking about is indigenous practices. Every culture has their own medicine. The East Indians have yoga and sweat lodge. No, actually, Ayurvedic medicine. That's their thing. We'll go to Chinatown, 3rd minutes from here. They have a shop on every corner, and they have their own herbs. And you don't see Chinese people in a hospital. They go to their own medicine women, medicine men, and get their herbs and take care of them. And nobody puts them in jail. And all the Native Americans, indigenous of this land, Turtle Island, they have the sweat lodge, the peace pipe, and the herbs. Western medicine has the surgery, the removing of organs, the radiation therapy, the medication with the side effects. Now, what about us? The first people who all holistic principles come out of them. And in my research, coming through Sacred Woman, researching, I found that most everything that we call holistic, which is a $1 trillion business, is all African natural lifestyle. I'll just call some of the principles. The bath, that's hydrotherapy, African natural lifestyle. Aromatherapy, African natural lifestyle. Sun healing, Reiki, yoga, meditation, affirmations, elemental healing, astrology, and it's 20 more. All these are our methods that we used in ancient practices, and that's what we teach. That shows up in Man Heal Thyself, that shows up in Sacred Woman, that shows up in our womb works, womb healing. All those are practices that we have incorporated and brought back to life, our cultural medicine. So we do have a medicine that can heal us, because whatever we're doing now, it's not healing us. We still got diabetes. It's nursing the disease.
Yeah.
But it's not healing the issue. If you have high blood pressure, you're going to have high blood pressure next 20 years. And by the time you do 10, 20 years of high blood pressure medication, now you sure enough have erectile dysfunction. And if you don't address the issues by going in a direction that's not your culture, then you're going to get sicker. Those are some of the principles of taking on a cultural, holistic, indigenous medicine walk.
And one of the indigenous things that you mentioned, Queen, about the sun, the sun is that source of medicine, and is there for us 24/7. So brothers and sisters in the chat and who are watching us now, every day, even if it's just from 3 to 5 minutes, just before you get into your full day and the sun is out, just stop, look up, close your eyes, and just have some deep breath moments of gratitude. Just for the light, and look at yourself as being the sun on the earth as the sun is up, and say, I'm looking up at the mirror and I'm smiling at myself. And just that affirmation, confirmation, and that ritual of just appreciation for the light, then you use that as a metaphor to lighten your day, and keep your heart light as you move through your day. Though that's definitely an indigenous practice that I know that if you implement daily, you can definitely feel charged, energized, and you definitely feel your ancestral connection.
The sun is
about that sun. If I can give this, do you remember during the pandemic? That's what people were doing. They were even told by their physicians, go out and get some sunlight. Go out and get some of your blackness. That sun is us, and there's a sign for the sun which represents power. It's a circle and it's a dot in the middle. There's a department store that goes by that. Okay, I'm not going to go there. But we are that's about unity. So the sun helps to unify. It also acts as your medicine. That's a natural medication, and that's vitamin D. And then if you take sun plants, food prepared by the sun, eat live food, 2 salads every day, sun food, fresh fruits every day, fresh green juices every day, fresh fruit juices every day, watermelon seeds and with the seeds in it.
With the seeds, yep.
Do not take any fruit that has don't take the grapes, if no seeds, And you have to tell them what you want. I mean, right here in the community, I said, do you have any watermelon with seeds in it? They said, no, it's cheaper if we get the watermelon without the seed. I said, well, I don't want cheap food. I want real food. Could you bring me some watermelons with some seeds? Wow. So he said, I'll invest. I said, well, go ahead and I'll buy watermelon today if I have to keep watermelon with the seeds in the community. So we have to become more conscious. What we're eating is creating our health and our well-being.
The sun is a major key for sure. I used to live in Florida and I used to live in Hawaii, and I always say just the quality of life of just going outside and it'd be 80 degrees in December and the sun, you could just tell the difference. And I went to Anchorage, Alaska, and that's when I learned that Alaska has the highest suicide rate in America. And I think it's a direct correlation that at least half the state, they don't even have sunlight for half the year.
Wow.
So it's like, if you really think about it, like these people is killing themselves and they don't have sun. So it's like, I think that that's something that's really, really, really important. That sun aspect is
so important.
Vital.
Well, think about winter, fall and winter. I tell everybody, listen, it's summer. It's the next 7 weeks. Everybody should be cleansing, healing, repairing, going to their holistic healer, getting their colonics, get into their dietary lifestyle, get a book, Man Healed Thyself, the book Sacred Woman, get the books, get to work, get to working. Because when the fall hits and those leaves drop off the trees, guess who's dropping off too? We are. We're nature. So when it's like a state of depression starts kicking in. By the second, it's like after Labor Day. After Labor Day, we got to go into fall. And the scarves are coming in, and the colds are going to start coming in, and the depression is going to come in. By the time you get to winter, I talked to my good girlfriend, Dr. Bernadette Sharon, MD. She said the hospitals are packed during the holidays. That's when the depression and the suicide and the violence is at an all-time high. That's what you're showing us, the parallel of in Alaska. And that happens here too. So y'all had something else. Invest fast. That's why y'all are successful. Because I'm hearing it all. You said, I got a sun, I got a steam, I want to get my water. Okay, you're talking about the sunlight. You are living this life. That's why it's working.
That's right. That's right.
That's why your life is working. So you are just actually examples of why your work works and why our Black men need to be on this, because the women are doing it.
Yeah, the women are doing it.
What's happening? It's dividing families. Because if the women are healing, because we are the original healers of the household, there's a prayer that the Most High gives us in the beginning of time. If we're healing and our men are not jumping on board, doing cartwheels in their healing like how y'all are doing, then he's going to feel insecure. Because all of a sudden she's all becoming more beautiful. He's going to get more intimidated. She's going to become more radiant. She's going to be more in tune. Her skin's going to start glowing. He doesn't have to be left out. That's why Me Healed Thyself is absolutely a necessity. I know for real time. Because I've taken thousands of Black women to Sacred Women. And the women said, what about our men? Now, when that book came out, the men started picking up the book and they started to make a shift. They started making an adjustment. And now they're not feeling insecure because they're healing together. So it's no competition. It's wellness all up and through the household now.
How do you have the conversation with the men in the family and maybe the elders who may be a little bit stubborn, who know they should make the change, but decades or years of habits have kind of caught up to them? How do you get them to slowly make that change so they can be the healthiest version of themselves?
Well, back in the day before you were all born, before I was born, the woman or the mother would not ask you, what do you want? They would just hand it to you. They would hand you the plate. They would hand you the medicine. You just run him a bath, put his jazz music on, make him a fresh apple pear juice. He never had fresh juice in his life. He's just grabbing store-bought sugar drinks. When you treat him really sweet, he'll take it all. You don't have to tell him, I want you to stop eating this and don't do this, and I want you to take a bath. He's not going to do all that. You're going to have to make the tea if you want to have a husband. You want to have a mate. You want to have a companion. So you have to get in there and help out, and then he'll start to come into himself.
Mm.
And as he comes into himself, then she now has a companion that she can communicate with and grow mature with. So you don't have to ask him, stop eating this and stop eating that. What you're mainly doing the food prep and you're mainly doing the shopping.
Mm.
And I've had many couples come together, and I'll tell the couple, these are things you have to do because you have this issue, she has that issue. You know, he'll say, honey, do we have a juicer? Honey, do we have stainless steel pots? Honey, do we have a blender? He's asking her everything. And she's saying, yes, we have that and we have that. I haven't used it, but we have it. So if we work together, it's a whole nother union, but we do. So don't really ask him, I want you to stop eating white flour products. Well, stop bringing the white flour products in the house.
Mm.
I want you to stop eating all that meat and start working with fish, steam the fish. You know, make the black beans and brown rice or the black rice. You know, start a juice salad. Find out his favorite vegetables and start preparing. Make him some fresh juices that are sweet in the beginning because he's not going to want a bitter. He's not going to want a green juice. And just sweetly bring him into the wellness. And he'll be shocked. I've seen the men that I've seen come out of Men Heal Thyself, when they start healing, it's called night and day. No one can talk on that one.
Yeah. I'm good, bro. I'm sorry.
That was insightful. That's actually very insightful. And man, I never really even thought about it like that. But it's like, why are you asking somebody if you're in a position of power? 9 times out of 10, a woman is in a position of power when it comes to the household. So you can just start dictating things. And like you said, nobody's gonna say no.
Listen,
like
act of love. Yeah.
It's like,
but don't say dictate. Don't say dictate.
Or not dictate in that way, but kind of like, curate. Let's
You
just say
can guide.
Curate.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you want them to eat healthier. But how do we get women to think like that, though? To even get in that mindset?
I hear the plead. First of all, women can have an attitude about that, and many. So I love my sisters, but I'll hear women sometimes tell me, "Why I gotta do all that?"
Mm.
He could do it for himself. Well, that means that you're actually in a state of divorce. It's already over. He's probably have somebody else on the side already. Okay, I'm upset. What I'm saying is, just go ahead and give him the love that you felt when you were dating.
Mm.
Remember that? Remember the love, holding hands, going out, being so interested in each other's lives. You can return back to that. It's going to take some work because you both started going to sleep. In the relationship, you sort of die because you're not eating healthy. You're eating, 3 square meals, and then you're eating food in between, and you have how many years you've been eating a toxic lifestyle is got caught up on that level. So you're going to have to actually help him to get going. There is a prayer that is on the temple walls in Kemet. The ancestors gave us the whole green print. It's already there. Just people don't know. So this is the prayer. That's why I tell the women. I said, we are the women. It's in the book. It's in the second one book. We are the women who lighten the darkness. We have come to lighten the darkness. It is lightened. We have overcome the destroyers. We're there for those who weep, who hide their faces, who sunk down. They looked upon us then. We are the women. We are the healers. We are the women. We are the healers. When I got that memo, I said, I'm going all out. So if the women are the healers, the primary healers, and we are handling that kitchen healing laboratory, Bob used to say, he was so with me. May he rest in peace and power, Bob Nightor, who inspired me to write the book, Heal Thyself. He loved when I talk about the healing laboratory, because put some respect on our kitchens. Listen, every food has it's a medicine. If the knees are hurting, it's the turnips. If the kidneys are failing, your body's swelling up, it's the cucumbers. If the blood, if you're stressed out, it's the celery. If you're numbing out, it's the ginger. And everything that you eat, the soup, the salad, the juice, the dressings, it is medicine. So if your family dinner is filled with medicine and delicious with the herbs and all, you can actually feed someone into wellness that could be they get deliciously well from the food that they eat and the drinks that they drink. And 21 days, getting him some real food, not going out and ordering food. This is the era of women ordering. They know how to order a drop of a dime. Men are ordering. but we're not making, we're not preparing. Somebody else's energy is in your food. And it's bad enough the pesticides are there and the GMO, but on top of it, GMO food permits, we become a GMO people. Food for thought.
Queen, let me ask you this. You referenced a few times as far as the sacred woman. What is a sacred woman, and how do we get there's so many distractions for young women out here right now as far as the music and the influences. What is a sacred woman, and how do we get back to that?
You sound like you're looking for one. Do you have a sacred one right now? I'm just talking. I think you're in my kitchen in my house right now. This feels so comfortable here. I may say anything tonight. Okay.
We love it. It's blackout. We love it. Go ahead.
This is the book. Well, this is the hard copy. It's no more hard copy. But this book has helped so many households, so many families. Sacred. Sacred is being in alignment with your divinity, being in line with the God in you. Remember Mary, the God in me, that's one of my favorites. And that means the Olodumare in you, Jah in you, Inter in you, all the qualities of greatness, of purity, of goodness, of harmony, of nature. Sacred women are natural women. When you look, a brother, Michael Brown, did this artwork, right? Amazing. When you look at her, you think it's a woman, but you know who this is? She's a nature being. Her body is filled with the sky. She's a sky mother. Her thighs are green from the green fields. Her heart, the sun is coming out from her heart, and it's a river that's flowing. So if we become ourselves, which is nature, if we start living a natural lifestyle, we move into a sacred zone. That means living off of foods that have oxygen, not dead foods, foods that have oxygen and life in them. If we start to take foods that are going to give us vitality, our red foods, and then we're starting to move with energy, that's red represents energy, that's second brings power. When we start to drink, to take the healing baths, and then we start to become in harmony with our family, even when our families are in harmony with us. Because we understand 400 years of chattel slavery. We understand Willie Lynch. We understand divide and conquer. That's what the sacred women, we already get it. What sacred women do is the strongest attribute of sacred women is the unity. So we have in sacred women, it's a circle of us. We are sacred Christian women, sacred Muslim women, sacred Yoruba women, sacred Black nationalist women, sacred Akan women, all these other women, and we all can pray together. That's unheard of. Everybody separates on their holiday, on their holy days. This one over here, and we'll train to divide and conquer. As opposed to we're all one, the Most High is in all of us. And if we get natural, if we get holistic, we get plant-based, and we start purifying the dead thoughts, the toxic conversation, the toxic heart, and we start healing up our heart, which is a symbol of Ma'at, balance, truth, and righteousness, we're now in harmony with all our relationships. And then we set a precedent. And those women start to radiate greater health and vitality. Those are the sacred women. I'll tell you, where you're going to find the sacred women?
Where?
Invest Fest?
Listen, 3 men are looking for wives. I said, well, just show up at Ascension Brooklyn Retreat and Expo in Brooklyn. And that's at Iffy Tile Cultural Arts Center at 1561 Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn.
What date is that?
100 vibrant, healthy, alive, gorgeous, radiant, conscious women.
What day is that?
That is the 13th. Well, the 13th, that's a one-day healing retreat. We're going to do a soul sweat. We're going to go to botanical garden. We're going to all of that. We have a lot of things to do. But on the 14th, 15th, and 16th is Ascension Expo. And on Sunday, we're going to do our full-hour drama because these are 50 women graduating. And then we have wonderful speakers. Supernova's going to be there speaking. Also, Rahotep, a master yogini, will be there. Kacho Wise, the musical maestro. King Simon, the numerologist. Koya Webb, the revolutionary production she's on. I'm going to be there. And many of my students who have become writers, scribes, as a result of taking the second one training. So they'll all be there. But don't come unless you're the righteous good man with good intention.
Really quick, in your opinion, what are the 3 most dangerous foods that we're consuming, and what are the 3 most important you think people should consume every day?
Oh, Supernova mentioned it. Sugar is number 1 day.
Number 1, sugar, definitely
Sugar.
number 1, because it's legal. It's legal
That's the problem.
around the planet, and it's
Yeah.
in every single thing. You really can't escape it. Even if you go to the health food stores, you have to read them labels because sugar can creep up on you. You know, they'll say organic, strawberry juice, but then it'll be like 26 grams per serving.
You want to know so crazy, not to cut you off. You want to know so crazy? I lost 15 pounds in 2 months.
Wow.
And without doing any running. You know what I did? I started to walk every day. And I stopped drinking juice. That's it.
Juice.
That's the only thing difference. The only difference that I made was I stopped drinking juice and I started to walk, and I lost 15 pounds.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
So carry on, but I'm just saying. The reason why I stopped drinking juice is because I started to learn how much sugar was in juice.
Oh my gosh.
I love juice. I never drunk soda. I don't drink soda, but I love juice. So that was hard for me, but little things, you never know.
Little things. And I'll just say, family, just for what the brother just said, when you go to your store, if it says anything above 5 grams per serving, it's a red flag for your blood, for your bloodstream, right? So you want to get it 5 grams and below. Anything beyond that, above that, especially if you're not drinking water, the body needs at least a gallon of water from AM to PM. Even if you just think 8 ounces here, 16 ounces there, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you should have a gallon or so of water in your body. Most people are dehydrated. And also what the number 2 would be after sugar would be watching the salts, the processed salts, not the like the pink Himalayan salt would be good. And the Epsom salt in the bath is good, but really watching the salt intake because it sucks the water from the body, right? So if you're not drinking your water, and like you said, brother, then you having the fruit juices, and then you having high salts, your body's in a state of dehydration. And then now when your body, your organs need water to function, right? So you think about it, like if you're just taking a lot of sugar and a lot of salts and you're not drinking no water, how do you expect to function properly, right? So the thing that you want all of your systems, we have all of these systems in our body, they're working together for our one selves. So you want to do everything you can to create an environment where everything's flowing in tandem. So like you said, brother, walking, which is that movement medicine, right? You said cutting out the sugars within the fruit juices, very important. And then you can replace it with natural fruits. You can replace it with fresh fruits. And make sure that you increase that water intake, especially during the heat season, the heat waves in LA and New York right now, in parts of the South, the heat waves, you have to stay hydrated, family. Not only just have the air conditioning going and stuff like that, but you got to keep your body in a hydration state. And you do not want to be binging on salts and sugars during this season, during the heat wave, because then your body will be very much getting beat up by the heat plus your dehydration.
What about fasting?
Quinn, you want to go into the fasting?
Yeah,
juice, water.
I would say fasting so you can incorporate it, because people go to extremes.
Right.
They'll fast, and when they finish fasting, then they'll eat everything.
Then they binge. Right.
So then they really don't get anything accomplished. So I would say eat, have 2 salads a day, add avocado a day, keep the doctor away, have a green juice, have a whole grain, have a protein, like the beans, the peas, the lentils, and make a soup out of that. So that makes it really simple. Get some guidance, because what happens is we get these, you get a little inspiration here and there. You grab this, you grab that, go on the internet for this and for that, and you still don't accomplish your goal. You feel a little better, you don't accomplish your goal, but you dropped that weight, and I'm sure you're feeling great. But you putting a sauna in and steaming, you run your bed, you're doing all the work. Okay. So but one of the things that you said in terms of the food, I break down food based on the elements, and the elemental healing, we talk about sovereignty, the elemental healing is a part of our medicine. So when you say, what are the best foods? Well, it depends on what your issues are. If you have respiratory issues, you have air issues. So you need your scallions and your red radishes, for example. If you have a fire issue, which just means that your reproductive organs are not functioning optimally, and you may have blood pressure issues, you might want to add cranberries or ginger for the circulation. Say there's a water issue, and so so many black people getting on kidney dialysis. When they get to 60, here we go. Cleaning out our blood through a machine where you can do it yourself. So the circulation, we are dehydrated, so we have to drink more water. And so you could drink water 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. When 6 o'clock comes, you have your last supper. Then how you do an intermittent fast, because I'm bringing that all together, is have watermelon, have herb tea, have a vegetable juice, have lime water. And anyway, by 8 o'clock, you want to be taking your bath, taking your shower, doing your self-massage, doing your inversions, really taking care of yourself during those late night hours. So your water foods, if you have swelling, then you want the cucumbers, the watercress, the parsley. If you have an earth issue, which means you have arthritis, most people have knee problems. By the time you get 45, you can't bend. Certain things you can't do anymore. You can't sit on the floor anymore. To get back up, you need people to help you get up off the floor. But if you start taking some green foods and some turnips, you can begin to repair your bones. And then I have clay that you can pack over your joints. I have the Green Life formula that you could take to nourish you if you're totally devitalized. I have the Master Herbal for those who are sugar junkies and you can't stop it. You can take the 13 herbs that I have to really purify your system so you won't have the desire. So the formulas are there as well to help you to balance out all your elements: air, fire, water, and earth.
And for the brothers that want to wean off the honey packs, I have the Super Mega Greens, which is a concentrated blend of alfalfa, dandelion, chlorella, spirulina, ginger. All of that helps to fortify the prostate and create flow in the body and the bloodstream. So we talk about erection, right? We want flow, and you have to actually have the chlorophyll foods inside of the bloodstream to increase the flow. So that would be a good supplementation. I would say take that for those that are seeking that. Super Mega Greens you could take 3 times a day, 1 scoop in the morning as your cells are waking up into the day, 1 towards the midday, the midday, and then the late afternoon. And that when you find yourself having your water and the scoop of your greens, you're not overeating because your cells are being fed. So it's not signaling to your brain, oh, it's time to eat. The water is keeping you cool and hydrated, and then the greens are actually in your bloodstream and feeding your cells, so you feel satisfied. So that's an additional thing that brothers and sisters can look into to fortify their nourishment.
I know this has been you guys' life's work, but what are you reading? How frequently are you reading to be able to mass all of this information for those who want to live a healthier life and be on a healthier journey for the rest of the year and for next year?
What are you reading?
Yes.
Well,
besides your
what
book,
I just did. When this guy,
tell me.
First of all, too many of our young men, our brothers, are having old men's diseases. They're 30 years old, and they're having some of the same issues that their grandfather has. And they said in this generation that the elders will be burying their sons and their daughters. I'm seeing that close up. And so this fast food generation has wiped us out. Fast food is a fast death. So if your whole life is based around grab and go, put anything in your system, not looking at yourself as special, and you just drop anything into this divine temple, you're in trouble. So one of the things, like when you said that, before you even said I must have been picking it up, there's this one line Supernova has in the book says, purify or die. I said, when he first said that, he said that he was 17. I said, I think that's a little extreme, Supernova. When you said purify or die, is it that deep? But then the next page, this is what he goes into it. Big Pun, dead at 28, heart attack. Bobby Brown Jr., dead at 28, caused a cause of death unreleased. Eazy-E, dead at 31, AIDS. Dilla, dead at 32, cardiac arrest. Old Dirty Bastard, dead at 35, drug overdose. MC Breed, dead at 37, kidney failure. Nat Dogg, dead at 41, stroke. Heavy D, dead at 44, stroke. MF Doom, dead at 49, cause of death unreleased. John Singleton, dead at 51, stroke. Prince, dead at 57, drug. I don't know if he just had to overdose. That man was brilliant. But it big, I'm just saying, I'm just looking at this list and it goes, because I didn't see all of this. Alonzo, kidney transplant at 33. Boosie, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 26, takes insulin 3 times a day. Bless our man. Come on now. Dr. Dre, aneurysm at 55. Young Noble, dead at 47. Self-inflicted, on and on. Whoa. Listen, I'm talking to you. Y'all are the leadership. Invest Fest is one of the most fabulous things out there for Black people.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And what I want y'all to do, I'm gonna tell you because I'm old enough to tell y'all what to do. You may not listen, but
no, we listening to you.
You see that list? Those are the ones that we all know about. What about our brother next door neighbor? What about somebody's best friend? What about somebody's husband? This is happening across the board. You know when you lose your whole neighborhood and you look outside and the others are here and then nobody, wait a minute, where's the Black businesses?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, where's the Black family walking down the street? In Best Side, in Crown, where are we? That's the same thing happened to our health. What happened to so-and-so's child? Oh, he passed away, he had a stroke. What happened to such and such husband? Oh, he had an aneurysm. He's never been the same. Don't wait till we just 2 of y'all left. Okay. The leadership. So this is what I am posing, because you can hear the whole story. You already know the whole story, but y'all already know that's why you're living. That's how come you're showing up in you. Y'all need to have a man heal thyself retreat.
Well, tell us about, give us that information, please, as far as your retreat, your books that you just published, because to me, that would be the answer, Ian, as far as I think we got to start with her books, like their books, like, you know what I mean? Because that's the thing that's really
the blueprint.
Save our life before even honestly, even before the finances.
Absolutely.
If you get money and you can't even walk properly, you can't think properly,
you'll give it all away to the medical system trying to.
Exactly. So please give us all the information on your books, your retreat, everything that you got going on.
Well, I'll start because this is dedicated. This is Man Heal Thyself Night. That's how I look at it. And we're dedicating this book is to bring out the wellness warrior. That's what it really is. And there will be a man. We've done Supernova and Hallelujah and 12 Healing Juggernauts. Man Heal Thyself. We did it 5 years straight. 50 men, 100 men would come in, and they would go through all of these pylons. But it has to get bigger than that. We need thousands of our men. I go down Fulton Street in Brooklyn, and you know how the men are walking? They're dead legs. It's called dead legs. They're dragging their legs down the block. That's the norm. I've seen other men just laying on the side of the street from the alcohol of years. And this is the look of when I should be in LA for about years. When I came here, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I thought I was in a dead zone. It was a death zone. So it's just normal. And by the time a woman is 55, 60 years old, there's only 1 or 2 young men in the family. And all the older men in their 50s and 60s, they're not even here anymore, because you just heard some of the numbers. This is 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's over. You don't even know that it's almost over. You don't know you're on a clock. So I would say that every man should get this book. This is a book that you just have to have. Random House put the book out because they knew the value of the book. And so they could just go on Amazon.com and get the book tonight. And I say, don't get one book. Get one for your mate. Get one for your son because he's going through it. Give one for your best friend. Give one for your coworker. You know, spread the word. The women, but you know, we have Man Heal Thyself is coming out in the spring. So you could register now, and then every month we'll give you some encouragement and give you some things you need to do to get yourself ready. But that's gonna be in the spring of 2027. So we're building up to have a few hundred men in the program, and really, you know, those men will become inspiration for their families. So we know that's gonna happen. Sacred Woman is happening right now. They could register for Sacred Women now and go through the Sacred Women runway. Right now, all through the warm weather, we do supernatural healing every Thursday. We meet, register now, and that begins. Open the gates will open up in the first week of October, but we're preparing as we speak.
Where do they register,
take
Queen?
the hands on.
Where do they register? Where?
QueenAfua.com.
QUEENAFUA.com. Okay, right.
Yeah, and then I have a school, and my school is called the Queen Afua Indigenous Holistic Wellness School. And I have the Sacred Women become medicine women, become medicine men, taking indigenous practices, come into the detox program and learn the indigenous practice and just detox. If you got diabetes, high blood pressure, that kind of work. Come into the womb wellness, Okay, when the book Sacred Women first came out, 45% of Black women had fibroid tumors. 26 years later, with all our technology, 90% of Black women have fibroid tumors now. So that means you can look to your right or to your left and everybody's having a tumor. That's my conversation all day long. And what's happening, they're bleeding heavy, which they think is normal. They're told it's normal, but they're hemorrhaging. They're bleeding sometimes 7 days, 10 days, 15 days. Y'all not gonna have a mate in a minute because she be bleeding all the time. How you gonna be with her? Okay. That's how it's happening. Then the womb is becoming prolapsed because the colon is so impacted that the colon, the bladder sits on her uterus. So now she has PMS. Now this is what's happening. It's becoming more normal for Black women to have hysterectomies now. It's becoming the new norm. So if she's bleeding heavy and having heavy flow, then she's having chronic PMS, and then of course she's stressed out and she's angry and she's hurting. That's who you're married to. What does that look like for you? Well, you probably then have some prostate issues. Maybe your blood pressure is high. So it's sick relationships, trying to make something out of sickness. When we do have to heal together, we must work together to heal ourselves. And so you are actually helping us to heal tonight because of the questions. You're speaking for the people. And you're in tune. You know what they need to hear to inspire them to make a shift, to make a change for the better.
Can I have you brothers recite this with me? I'm going to read and share with the audience the Wellness Warriors Oath and Creed, because I want you and the listeners to know this is the psychology of the mentality and the consciousness that men are coming to when they're reading the book and also when they're joining the Rites of Passage training. This is the oath, and the oath is a wellness oath that you say for yourself, right? So we want our men to make a pledge for themselves and their wellness. So y'all repeat after me. This is the Wellness Warrior's Oath. As a wellness warrior.
As a wellness warrior.
Each day I pledge.
Each day I pledge.
To honor the health and wellness of my mind, body, and spirit.
To honor the health and wellness of my mind, body, and spirit.
With high vibrational awareness.
With high vibrational awareness.
Choices. Interactions. Whether inside or outside of myself.
Whether inside or outside of myself.
I make a deep commitment to my commitments.
I make a deep commitment to my commitments.
24/7 and 365 days of the year to defend myself.
24/7, 365 days a year to defend myself.
Against all toxic enemies that are inside of me or outside of me.
Against all toxic enemies that are inside of me or outside of me.
Such as viruses, people, places, and things.
Such as viruses,
people, places, and things.
I protect myself against all enemies, foreign and domestic, because I'm a man, heal thyself, wellness warrior.
I protect myself
from all enemies, foreign and domestic, because I'm a man, healthness, wellness.
Man, heal
warrior.
thyself, wellness warrior. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yo.
Because I'm committed to my personal development and transfiguration daily.
I'm committed to my personal development and transformation daily.
Every day is a new gift.
Every day
is a new gift,
a new opportunity,
a new opportunity,
a new choice,
a new choice
for a greater quality of myself and my life.
For a greater
quality for myself and my life.
All right. So that's the oath. That's the type of focus we want brothers to come in with for themselves, right? And then I'll close with the creed. This is the way of life. Because I'm a wellness warrior, no matter where I'm deployed in my life, I will honor my wellness. As a man, heal thyself, wellness warrior, no matter my job description, no matter where I find myself on this planet, I make no excuses for honoring my wellness. No matter the demands and chaos of life, my well-being is a priority. I will not compromise the opportunity to build and to obtain a greater quality of life for my self-mastery. No excuse wellness is my creed.
Really quick before we wrap, can you talk to us about the importance of staying away from toxic people and media diet as well? Negative social media, negative programming, how that has an impact on health.
When you open up, you got it? Okay.
Well, you know, there's something very deep about social media. You might think you have a child, you don't even know your child. Because somebody else is raising your child. Others are raising your child. And you may sit there and look at the child and hug the child, but they have a separate life that usually has nothing to do with what you're saying. And if you don't have a strong impact and you don't have a strong hand into their relationship and their development, and you're not teaching them, and you're letting them live inside of their phone, they're going in the phone and they're learning how to think, or what to think, or what not to think, and how to behave and how to act. And this is what you need to be addicted to, and this is how you need to live. So when you talk to them, they're nodding their heads, but they have another world. So I say the wealthy people, they don't let their children go into their phones and live in their phones.
It's a great point.
They want to have an impact on their child. They want their child to continue to lead us. So let's shift that energy. And if you take the phone away, they almost want to die. They're attached to that. So with all that information constantly coming, and the mind switches so quick, they can't even concentrate. And so I'm just saying, stop, detox from the phone and make that when we sit down and we talk to each other. Can we talk? Can we share? What are you really feeling? What are you going through? Stay clear, because the rate of young people and suicide is rising.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if somebody says something to them about how they look, or they don't have the look, or they don't have the clothes, they don't have something, they're taught to not love themselves. They're taught an artificial life. Like this person who put their makeup on, the house and the glam, and they're looking like that. It's like, I don't have that. I'm not good enough. Tell that to a teenager. They're messed up. You have to pour into them. You have to show, and then when my children were growing up, I put them in cultural schools. I come in plant-based schools. So I was constantly, I would have them go to adults who had a lot of intelligence and knowledge of self. And so you have to really, I had to take a martial, me and your father had to take a martial arts. So there was always an engagement. We have to get back to that, or get forward to that, and have a new day. Because we're not, what we're being given is making us sick. Our children are getting sick. The elders are not functioning. It's normal for our elders to have Alzheimer's. It's normal because they're eating dead things and in canned food. They're not having fresh food. Nobody's coming to visit them enough to even help them eat healthy. So they're disconnected. That's why. And all what I have to say to create a healing every family, which is all you two and us and everybody who's listening, probably the ones, and a wellness home. Now that's why I heard the wellness home happening. So when you come home, you can't wait to come home. Your children can't wait to come home, because the home is where they can heal, where they can talk, where they can share, where they can eat well. So we have to shift the home into healing homes. That means we have to shift ourselves into healing people. We have to be healthy people in order to shift and inspire others to heal. But I know you did ask about the books too, right? Did you ask about the books?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, he did that. They asked.
They did. Okay, I would just say the 3 books. There's a few, but I'm just going to. The Husseya, I read it this morning. I get a free yoga class for the next 22 days. It's a 22-day challenge for yoga. And I read from the Husseya. Dr. Karinga took the information from the Persian we would get, the first written text of African spirituality, of all spirituality, and he put it into Proverbs. And that you get that through the Husseya, words of wisdom. Medical apartheid, to understand where we are, what has happened to us as a people, what's happening right now, and we don't have no clue. 2,000 seasons, the last page, it says, they said traps for our bodies, traps for our minds, traps for our spirit, but the people such as this, those traps cannot hold. We are the liberated ones, we're the free ones, we're the free thinkers, we're the entrepreneurs, and we're opening doors and making things happen. So that 2,000 seasons is a book. And then the book, The Body Keeps the Score, about trauma, the black tax, gentrification, to show what's happening in our communities. Our communities are being stolen from up underneath us. Our housing, all is being stolen from underneath us. So so those are just some of the books.
I will also add The Holistic Remedy by Supernova Islam. You can also get that on Amazon, as well as the Man Heal Thyself book. But for those that really want to get into the science of detoxing and using foods as medicine in a practical, holistic way, whether their plant-based goal is to become plant-based vegans or they just want to incorporate more plant-based foods, the holistic wellness manual is The Holistic Remedies available.
Before my last question, before we leave, because this is a finance show, and I didn't even notice, but we had posted it, and your name came up in the comments a lot. Were you a victim of deed theft?
Well, actually, 25,000 Black people in Crown Heights have been a victim of deed theft. And when I sit on my stoop, because we sit in our home, when I sit in our stoop, I just sit there and ponder. I said, we are the Black people. There used to be nothing but Black people, next door neighbors, across the street, around the corner, in the parks. We're not even there anymore. It's not even are you or we. So our homes are stolen. Our health is stolen. Our medicine is something outside of who we are. Everything is being stripped unless we wake up. This is our time to wake up. So yes, our people. My mother, my grandma, my mom, my daughter has this quote. Can I get that quote? I'm gonna say it as you say it. She was born in the Jim Crow. My mother was born in Jim Crow, South, and now we're in the Jim Crow, and died, passing her. She was 100 in the Jim Crow North. It's still happening. The lynching is showing up differently, but the lynching is still happening. And she was a victim of deed theft, grandmother. And my mother, victim of deed theft. So I love the conversation of wealth, property, ownership of ourselves, my body, my womb, reclaiming ourselves as a people, saving your mates, saving your elders, saving our homes. We just have to pull it all up. We have to unity. My father was a Garveyite, mother too. She was the leader of, she was the secretary for Progressive Women for Civil Rights. They was inspired through Martin Luther King. I was taken, I heard him when I was 9. I was there in Washington.
Marcus Garvey?
No, not Marcus. My father was a Garveyite based on Marcus Garvey's teaching. My mother was too. My mother also was the secretary for the Progressive Women for Civil Rights. My parents brought me to Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech in Washington when I was 9 years old. So my parents always taught me about the main thing is unity. If there is no unity, we're over. We have to find reasons to come together as opposed to tear each other apart. If you see someone struggling in our community, go help them. Go say, how can I be of service? Uplift them. Do not tear them down through your word. Social media does a job on us. We look for what the problems are. And so we have to look for what are the gifts and how can we add to each other's life for health and vitality across the board.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for coming on. Very enlightening conversation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Liberation through purification. Pass it on.
Well, the salute. I'm gonna get some copies of this book out to y'all, brothers. Get
Please,
these out to
please.
you.
Thank you.
ASAP. ASAP. Yeah.
Thank
And
you so
I
much.
have to send copy segment for your mates or your future mates.
Please.
Please, ASAP. FedEx.
Yeah, we're gonna get it tomorrow. They go out tomorrow. They go
Thank
out
you.
tomorrow.
E-books, all of it.
All of it.
I'll create a holistic care package. How about that?
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Okay,
you.
Green Life everything.
Everything.
Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you, brothers. We appreciate y'all.
No problem. Thank you. Keep up the great work.
You too. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Okay.
That was insightful.
Extremely. Extremely.
Yeah, incredibly insightful.
Extremely insightful, man. It's real. Real conversations, bro. Real conversations. Man, that was very. And for the people that say that blackout is all 50-50 relationships and we don't have to.
Come on, bro. Y'all not listening or taking notes.
Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? Yo, man, this is one of the most educational shows on the internet.
Sure.
This is a very educational show. Man, that was a lot of information.
And everyone affiliated with the Nolan Wells case, all y'all need to be arrested.
Well, let's talk about that now. Real quickly, we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about Fauci. Nolan Wells, man, this is just looking very, very, very suspicious. Let's just say that.
The audio's come out. You can't hide. There's a show called Your Honor with Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. That's kind of, it reminds me of this. He was a judge. His son killed a mafia boss's kid. They tried to hide it. It reminds me eerily of that. But this was a complete cover up. We didn't need the audio to know what happened. I think everyone has to be arrested, though. This is one of the biggest cover ups I've seen. And then when I was talking to Ish about this yesterday, my first thought was they haven't been arrested yet, and it's 2026. Imagine in 86 and 56.
Oh no, 100. But imagine if there was the roles reversed, like, and it's like,
oh, for sure.
Boys love to say, "Oh, you playing the race car? You playing the race car?" Imagine if there was a white kid that was on an AAU team with all black players, and they went to a tournament or they went whatever, and the kid didn't come back, and they took it and they erased his phone, and they did that, and then they hired lawyers. As soon, do you know
what uproar? What
they would be sitting in Rikers Island right now in the man's unit.
Then the throat didn't come back in the medical, like from the coroner. Like, come on, bro.
It's America, bro. You'll never be free in America. Can we show this clip from Dr. Fauci?
Yes, please.
Is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people.
Okay, so for full context, if you don't know what actually happened, Dr. Fauci, the what do you want to call him? The architect of the COVID vaccine,
allegedly for
vaccine, not the architect of COVID-19, but the architect of the COVID-19 vaccine
being administered
rollout. He was the head doctor at the time for the United States. So they brought him in front of Congress today, and they put him to the fire as far as saying like this whole thing was a scam and so much things was misled and misleading the people and and pled the fifth on some Dave Chappelle. Fifth.
FIF. Fifth.
Yeah. Man, this is so much, but I feel like a few things. Whenever they do these things, it's performative and it's a distraction. I actually hate when Congress brings people up and they make these shows, because it's all it is an opportunity for these senators and these congressmen and women to get famous for 15 seconds.
You just had a political kerfuffle.
Well, it's political
theater.
It's political theater. To me, it's political theater. And I feel like it's a distraction.
Yep.
Two things can be true at the same time. He does need to answer questions about this COVID situation, but not just him. It's bigger than Nino Brown. But
he's the fall guy. He's the Madoff.
He's the fall guy.
He's the fall guy for sure.
He's the fall guy for sure. But
man, he didn't open up that thing in Wuhan.
They were just making this up as they go. Social distancing, 6 feet. In New York City, we had to eat outside in the winter because it was like, I remember the dumbest thing was Miami. Miami had like a 11 o'clock curfew at one point in time, South Beach. So I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. You could do everything you want until 11 o'clock.
During the day, yeah, and then go in the house.
At midnight, COVID just disappears. Like, it was just so stupid. Like, some places, I remember we was in West Hollywood, and West Hollywood had different rules than LA, and they bordered each other. So like in West Hollywood, you had to take the rims off of the basketball hoop. In LA, you didn't. It was a debacle.
It was, yeah. And it's one of the greatest health crises we've ever had in this country, and one of the greatest financial crimes that we've had at the same time. And nobody's gonna pay. But Fauci, I mean, he said he got pardoned, but it was also a part of the AIDS crisis.
Miami was locked down. I saw Miami locked down. That's a fact. The South Beach, I remember South Beach was closed. They closed South Beach, and then they reopened, and then they had a curfew, and then they was fully open.
Yeah,
but they was all over the place with their laws. I don't think Texas ever really shut down.
No, Houston was.
They stayed open. Atlanta shut down for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Atlanta was shut down for 2 weeks because the mayor shut it down, and then the governor said, no, we open. So Atlanta was fully open for the most part. New York was a ghost town. New York, Times Square was a ghost town. LA was shut down. San Francisco, forget about it. But okay. Dr. Fauci, I don't even know what to say. Like I said, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this COVID thing. I mean, we've talked about this enough. Like, I feel like at this point in time, everybody made their decision during COVID to what to do. If they wanted to get a shot, if they didn't want to get a shot, if they wanted, like, everybody was making decisions.
They were uninformed and decisions based on propaganda. To all the people that have gotten a shot and then they had adverse health effects, they won't be taken care of. And even though he's the fall guy, there still needs to be justice for what it was a flat out lie. It was a flat out lie. And then also the corruption on the inside. I know I sound like Bernie Sanders, but the corruption, the insider trading at the same time when they were telling everyone to take the shot and mask up, they were trading Moderna options and then buying the equity in it like crazy. So you're killing people, making money on it. And then the stuff he was writing in a diary about how popular he became and how it's like, what the fuck, bro? You committed a war crime on American citizens.
Allegedly. I mean, the thing about COVID, man, it was so crazy, man. Remember the COVID cards?
For sure.
So then people start selling COVID cards. That became a hustle. And that was another dumb thing, especially like in New York. It was like you couldn't go into a restaurant if you didn't have a COVID card. They was just looking, just like, it was like
they didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't care. Nobody cared.
Interesting, to say the least.
To say the least. To say the least, man.
Yep.
To say the least. Then they had the shots, and they had the booster shots. I'm like, what the fuck?
How quickly they sped up the availability of the shot. And then also, we're talking about this on Stock Club, prior shots to Sarisha, like the level of gaps in education now, because for the kids who were homeschooled and didn't get effective education, the gaps in attendance and then performance inside of the school have gone down dramatically since 2020. And then now AI companies are buying rare books and chopping the fucking binders up and uploading. It's like, bro, what? We're going to look back at this 2020 decade as a lost decade. It wasn't that financially because of all the engineering, but culturally, socially, in terms of inflation, degradation of family structure, cost of living is higher than ever. This is a lost decade. It's a travesty.
Is it? Is it a lost decade?
If I can be very honest, without the AI spent, and I can argue about that, some of that is allegedly a Ponzi. It's been nothing but manipulation since 2020.
I'll say this. COVID was such an interesting time, man. Not to go back, because we already talked about this before, but it was the best of times and the worst of times. But Fauci, I think he should definitely answer some questions. But I think it's bigger than him. Because I remember watching CNN one time, because I had nothing else to do. I was home all day. I had never seen anything like this. For 24 hours straight, it was COVID story after COVID story after COVID story. For 24 hours straight. 24 hours straight. It was only COVID story. That was the only thing that they were showing was COVID. And the way that they just, oh man, if you didn't get the COVID shot, you was the most irresponsible person.
You're the worst person ever.
You're the worst person ever, and you're gonna kill your grandmother. The way that they was guilt tripping people that did not take the COVID shot was amazing. And then one day it just disappeared and it just was right back to regularly scheduled programming. Like the way that needs to be studied. How it was the worst thing. Humanity was about to be erased.
Come to an end. Yep.
And then one day it was Tuesday. And it was over.
Back to business as usual.
It was over. It was over that quick. Like that quick, it was just over.
After they monetized it. They demonized Kyrie. The first person I thought of when I saw this, Kyrie still ain't get no apology from who he's supposed to get it from. Stephen A., I know y'all patched it up and Eunice that, but you still owe him more apology than what he got. You made Kyrie seem like he was a terrorist for saying he didn't want to take that shot.
Yeah. Not just him. Stephen Wallbaum.
Yep.
All of these guys. They all did.
So
took the jab. All right, guys. Hope you learned something today.
Yeah, of course. If you take notes, you always will learn.
This was a very educational program. Shout out to Queen of Fool. Shout out to Supernova. Man, the one thing that I learned is that a woman should not ask the man. They should curate.
Yeah, lead with love. Because the greatest manipulation is, in my opinion, if someone asks you if you need something or you need help and not actually give it. If you love, you'll just provide. I think that's the big lesson, is to see if they're aiding, and this is in every part of the interaction. Are they making life better for you and loving, or making it worse? It's a good sign. If someone wants you to be healthier, be better, for sure.
Yeah,
it's just this thing to look out for, especially when y'all navigating and roaming around the singles lounge.
That's a singles lounge. That singles lounge is gonna be legendary.
It's gonna be
singles. A lot of people is trying to get into the singles lounge.
Yes,
a lot of people have been asking about the singles lounge. It's a trending topic.
Don't try and pile in next to me now. Security. Normally my security be OD, but when I go support Kendra G, black woman with Oprah, with Earn Your Leisure, don't pile behind me. Solo mission. We're solo on that ass, but it's still the same. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Happy birthday in advance, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Should I make my announcement now or just wait till Monday?
For your birthday?
Yeah, about Monday.
Oh, let's wait.
Okay.
Let's wait. But yeah, happy birthday in advance.
Thank you, my brother.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
practicing. Go back to my happy place. I'm gonna go in the sun, go in the ocean real quick. But I literally thought today, like, how lucky am I to get to prep for this in light of all the stuff that's been said. And shout out to Charlamagne. It's like, make it the best one ever. If they got something that they ain't learned enough, make sure they learn so much just from you. And then, okay, gotcha. So it's a blessing, though. God is good. Every day is a blessing. Every day is a gift.
That's a fact, man. Happy birthday!
Real quick to my friends. What do you get the man that has everything? More of everything.
More of everything. Think about it. Happy birthday to my mom.
Absolutely.
Man, it's been a great run. This was a very educational episode. Watch the playback. Next week is Invest Fest. Get your tickets. Get there early. Registration starts on Thursday. Excited to see everybody. Gonna have it's gonna be
amazing.
It's gonna be amazing, man. I'm looking forward to it. Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Likewise.
You seem happier for also too, bulletin board material. It's a part of the process. The greats, they take the criticism. You gotta take the energy, redirect it to give. It's a great business lesson. Any criticism you get, listen to the criticism. The haters are the best consultants, and put the energy and love into your group, into your people.
That is a fact. That is 100.
Every time.
That is 100% fact. Atlanta, you know we love y'all. We're gonna see y'all next week.
Nothing but love.
Oh, you know that.
East side, west side.
I know that.
Knocked on you. Ooh. Jonesboro, Alpha Red, you know.
Sandy Springs.
Hey.
Okay.
For sure.
You
ever been to Compound back in the day? I love the old Atlanta. Compound.
Shout out to AG. I've been to Compound.
Yeah, Alex Gilwan, Mr. Plush, Kobe Campbell. Ooh. That Compound run back. We're gonna have a conversation next week or the week after about the best runs in history. Compound was one. Gold Room. Ooh.
Yeah, I've been in Atlanta. Man, for a minute. Compound. Damn, that's been a minute.
Compound was iconic. It was like an honor to go in there. What?
That was a big club. That was a big club. Indoor, outdoor, couches.
Vibes everywhere.
That was a vibe. Compound was a vibe.
Yeah. Great times.
Great times. Yeah. Shout out to A. Shout out to A. We're gonna see y'all next week. Oh man.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited, yo.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Justice for Nolan Wells. I'm gonna bring this up every week till some charges get brought up.
No, it's crazy, man. It's actually insane. And then the hate that his parents is getting.
It's insane.
What's wrong with people, man? What the fuck is wrong with people?
Crazy, yo. But shout out to every advocate that's been stepping up. Nancy Grace came out of retirement. Ms. Rachel popping up. Okay. It's getting some national attention. And we have to stay vocal about it. So I want to keep myself accountable and make sure I say something about it every week. The charges are brought up. So, and if you're a Red Panda, Jasmine, I'll be at your booth. But I'm going to pick 2 more people. On Saturday, I'm going to bring people to your booth, and I'll be visiting as well. Membership has privileges, so it's a way I want to give back, is to make sure that you have a great time in the vendor marketplace as well. So,
there you have it. Red Panda Rebellion. IanInvest.com.
You got all your outfits? Somebody just asked. Yeah, I put Quiet Luxury.
Quiet Luxury. Quiet Luxury.
The theme this year.
Quiet Luxury.
Quiet Luxury. Red Panda Sunday, all black.
All black?
Yeah, all black. Quiet Luxury, all black.
All black like the Omen. We're saying this is for my homies.
Put on the show.
That's it. That's it. The moment is here. The moment has come. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tap in EYL tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and we'll see you guys.
He came in with a hot take, but as a business owner, I love it. Ooh. Tune in tomorrow. Even from the marketing, I'll say, oh, he was ready.
No, that's
He's ready.
Fact. That's the fact. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.